Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Brisbane Pickleball Open here live from Focus Pickleball Redcliffe, powered by Yola. We're about to get underway with our bronze medal for our Pro Division. Windy display here in Redcliffe. As we have closest to camera in the red, Vish Masand teaming up with Sarah Burr, the lefty combination. I know Sarah's confused a lot of people this weekend with her shoes. Someone thought she had a moon boot on. Not the case. And sitting alongside me, jumping in the booth, we've got Sanj Carter. G'day, Sanj. Yeah, well, I mean, it's lovely now. Our weather earlier was shocking, but it's all gone, and now it's, as you say, it's really nice. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, and you obviously got to play earlier today, so you'd be able to give the best indication of the conditions. Yep.
$2.11.
Yeah, exactly right there. As that ball's gone wide, and I got the pleasure of calling Dikosavljevic and Wall's games earlier today. Andy D was getting blasted at, fair to say. And I do find, as Delabonna and Sterling have locked down the gold medal, that it seems with this windy conditions, the driving play style seems to be the way to be at the moment. Sam, did you find in your matches earlier that that was sort of the goal, as the wind is crazy at the moment?
Look, most teams, when you look across all courts, were definitely driving a little more than they were dropping, especially if they had their wind in their face. So, again, it was a little bit of two different game styles, depending on the end players are at. And I'm sure we'll see a little bit of adaptation too from both these teams.
Yeah, it's good to have Vish and Sarah on the courts. They've been long-time duos. That was a switch there for Dikosavljevic, who saved the day with George Wall getting caught.
Having a little giggle to themselves over there. It's been a nice partnership. First event that the two of them have played together, and looks like great chemistry out on court.
I agree. That's a body. And
that's the head.
Well, I have to say, Sanj, today has been the most I've seen body bags like out of any PPA event. It's been wild. Yeah,
and I think I was chatting to some players earlier, again, with that windy condition. You know, a lot of players are sort of getting set early and really just trying to rip that ball. So getting caught on the body has been a little more frequent. Yeah, great work there from George Wall. Incredibly challenging there, having to really reach in as that ball's dipping away from him each time as it crosses the net.
As we have a timeout immediately, Sanj. This is an early one to get us going after the scoreline of 6-1. But yeah, the wind has been wild. I mean, Redcliffe is renowned for it, and we do have our Tweed Heads event coming up too, which I imagine will be quite windy there as well. So this is probably good practice for a lot of our MLPA players too.
Yeah, and it doesn't help with a bit of a cyclone sitting north, so the extra little wind from that cyclone just started to push down the coast. So I think, if anything, tomorrow, I don't think it's going to get any more still, so players are going to have to do their best to adapt, as always.
Yep.
But otherwise, beautiful conditions as that sun's setting, so no sun in the eyes, not too hot, really, really lovely, apart from just a little bit of wind for them to deal with, but they've been playing with it yesterday and today. So we see the best players able to adapt and almost try and find ways to use it to their advantage.
That's right. And that lob nearly landed back on Andy's head as it just went straight back towards the wind.
And these conditions too, Dylan, you really got to see the footwork with the athletes. You know, if you do get caught a little bit flat-footed, that's when you can really be exposed. So having the ability to still make those quick adjustments in your feet, get yourself in a good position, and then when that wind does take the ball at the last minute, they're still able to make the shot they want to make.
Ooh, Vish with a shoulder check attempt.
Yeah, a little shimmy from George Wall getting out of the way.
We talk about athleticism. A good, healthy George Wall is a great thing for Australian pickleball. You know, it's funny, Sanj, I was speaking with Sarah Burr during our rain delays earlier, and she was watching Andy D's game against Rob Sterling and Summit Alabama, and she was like, I'm definitely going to try and use the same strategies that was used against Andy D. But at the moment, they've got quite a large deficit, so...
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it? Sometimes you see a player or a team and you go, oh, that's a strategy I'm going to use, but, you know, unless you have that skill set that other player may have, often that can sort of throw you a little bit. So, you know, it's always about marrying that strategy with the skill set of you and your teammate, and then matching that to the conditions. So you've got to get the trifecta right.
Oh, body attempt goes long.
Good duck there from Sarah.
Yeah, when I used to coach new players here at Redcliffe, I would often say that pickleball is an incredibly complex game when you actually start to delve into it. Nice shot.
Yeah, like that, George Wall. Straight down the middle.
Yeah, wind's not stopping that. Vish Masand got his family here. They're probably in the top 10 of most supportive groups in the Australian pickleball scene.
Well, first long rally we've seen there, but interesting choice for Andy T to lob from the end with the wind behind her back, and she realised straight away that maybe it was the wrong choice on that occasion. But when they go to the other end, well, let's see if she can bring it out on that occasion.
3-7-2.
Oh, she's bobbing and weaving at the moment. Burr gets out of the way.
Yeah, initiated that attack and was able to duck out of the way of the counter there.
I have to say, Vish is looking mighty trim. He's obviously just been to the barbers.
Vish is always looking very sharp.
Yeah.
Always has the hair looking very, very sharp.
7-4-1.
Oh, the net roll catching Wall off guard.
Yeah, you can see how Sarah really had to lean right in there on that one. The wind just sort of dropping that ball, not bringing it onto her paddle anywhere near as much. So, I mean, that's going to be 50-50. So net clip that goes towards on her advantage, and then another way it's going to hit that net. So,
Well, speaking of Sarah, this is a great response from her and Vish, considering they've settled the ship a little bit. A little bit of work to be done. There we go, double hander backhand from Dikosavljevic is successful. Second server once more.
7-2.
Vish, too easy.
yeah, set up a great first drop there from Sarah Burr, which was sort of pushed behind the baseline on her back foot. Really set that one up very, very well for Vish.
5-7-2.
It's not often that we see a left-handed player on the left side of the court here with Sarah Burr, but it's a fascinating dynamic of their duo, I suppose, that it's a little bit unexpected.
Yeah, with the two lefties, and it's almost like you have to just reverse your strategy when you're playing two righties. So it's the same patterns, but just being able to flip that on its head a little bit there. It's a great serve there. Pushing that one wide. Very tough to make that play.
8-5-1.
8-5 currently. Wall to bring it in. Nice off shot there from Wall.
Yeah, just took a little bit of pace off it there. Didn't quite fire it as quite as hard, and you could see Sarah Burr almost jumping back out of the way, and the off pace actually caught her out of position. So I like that from George. Just trying something a little different, mixing up the speed and the trajectory there.
Yeah, George regarded as the professor of pickleball, a very high IQ on the courts.
9-5-2.
Again, great deep dink then, just going just behind that kitchen line, just behind the foot of Sarah Burr there, making it incredibly difficult. We know she's one of the best defenders on the tour, but that one, yeah, great placement.
ATP.
Defended.
There we go, game secured. Terrific effort from Dikosavljevic and Wall. They have locked down game one, and we're going to bounce into a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Once we return, we will get underway with our game two here of the bronze medal for the pros. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. We are underway here with our game two. Dikosavljevic and Wall playing very well as we have a quick side out.
0-0-1.
Wow. What a rally. Terrific play from both sides. George Wall putting it down, though. And first points on the board for Wall and Dikosavljevic.
Yeah, just loving the patience of Andy and George there right at the start, you know, waiting for the 7th shot before they came in, really giving themselves a great opportunity, moving great as a pair. Getting caught out just there then, Andy D.
0-2.
And we're seeing a little bit more dinking to get us started here for this game too. Masand will be bringing it in, 0-1-1.
0-1-1.
Disregard everything I just said.
I was going to say, not a dink to be seen, Dylan. They make a fool of you there, but no, incredibly good players. All 4 players firing here in game 2 of our bronze medal match. Oh, then it goes back the other way, the net. Giving the resistance there to team Sarah Burr and Masand.
It does seem that the players have opted to start swinging freely now.
We saw that at the start of game 1 too, though, Dylan. They all came out, swung pretty hard at the start, and then sort of about halfway through, around about that sort of 7-3 mark, when they started to get back into that, Sarah and Vish actually started to go to the softer game. So let's see if it mirrors it. It is at the moment.
Called wide on the outside, and first points here for
1-1.
Wall and Dikosavljevic for this service.
Point.
Take 2, that'll be a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, big drive there from George Wall. And so that one really dipping down, catching Sarah. Very difficult when that ball's crossing the net high and really dipping with that heavy top spin into the breeze.
Now the service, the side of the court that Wall and Dikosavljevic on, and Sanj is regarded as the, I guess, preferred side if you'd like hitting into the wind. So that's danger signs for Masand and Burr, considering the game 1 deficit.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Sarah and Vish do decide to go to that softer game and dinking a little more, if they can get into that opportunity, sort of take that wind advantage away from George and Andy. But again, incredibly difficult to get into that position to do so. It's getting very blustery right at the moment, but then within a minute or so it can be dead still as well.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so hard, right? It's not consistent.
Yeah, there's no rhythm that players can get into. They're having to effectively assess conditions every time that ball is served.
Wide side, perfect shot. And we have a timeout here on the side of Burr and Masand. Now, Sanj, this morning we had our juniors events. So it was terrific to see the all of our juniors players go through with their singles events, but we also had the Masters. So our gold medal recipients, Liz Hyland and Tony Field, secured their gold. The team in pink, they played very well. But you guys had a pretty exciting announcement from the Masters side of things as well.
Absolutely. We haven't actually publicly put this out, but why not? You've asked for the scoop, Dylan, so we'll give the fans what they want. But no, we will be adding, as we move forward to the Tweed event and New Zealand, and moving forward, we are going to be adding a 60-plus division. So 60-plus 3.0 and above will be happening. Those registrations will be live by the end of this weekend. So if you're 60 or above, you love your pickleball, get down onto the PPA registration page and register for the next event in Tweed, coming up at the start of April. Then we'll be heading to New Zealand at the end and then over to Perth. So all of those events we'll be having now are 60 plus.
Oh, that's amazing. Great news for all of our 60 plus players as the game has recommenced here. Oh, that flick is unreal. And yeah, the Northern New South Wales Masters contingent is so large, Sam, so it's going to be amazing to see the 60-plus divisions represented.
Yeah, absolutely. We just had, a lot of conversation with the public and clubs around, certain event areas and who's really interested to play and what opportunities they have. So again, just creating those bigger opportunities around those events, knowing that we do have bigger facilities with more courts at those venues.
Yep.
So again, when capacity sort of allows it, then we'll be adding in divisions. So really excited, but it's all about the pros right now. Bronze medal action.
Now, I do wonder if Sarah's okay, because she did cop a ball in the noggin. Quickly took her sunnies off, so she seems all right. Tough.
It's the second one in this match.
No,
Let's get the girl a helmet out there.
Yeah, not wrong. Well, they're wearing red, and they've got a rampaging bull on the other side in George Wall at the moment.
Again, that off pace there from George, really dipping that ball down as Sarah's retreating. Working really effective for him this afternoon. That's great defense.
What a rally. Great defensive effort. Vish, Masand, Sarah Burr take a bow.
They're almost on a 180 every single time they were playing that little defensive flick, just taking the pace off, really relaxed wrist, and it seemed like that was their preferred position. Well done.
Long. And Sanj, for our 60-plus players that may be interested in learning more about the Tweed and New Zealand events you mentioned, where would be the best place for them to find that information out?
Yeah, so all of our events on pickleballbrackets.com, so you can go on there and register. Just type in the event or the location. We'll help you find it. Sometimes it can be a little tricky, depending on how many events are popping up, or ppatour.com.au. So you can go and get the links through the registration page on that. That's also where we have our live leaderboards for all of our divisions as well, any camps and clinics that are coming up. So yeah, ppatour.com.au for everything PPA tournaments.
Yeah, Sarah Burr down to the feed, great shot. And that website's a terrific resource. We had a bunch of points already won this weekend with the, well, the players right now are playing for points, right, for the bronze medal. So
Yep. Yeah, it's a 1,000 this weekend. The Brisbane Pickleball Open is open, so all our opens are up for 1,000 points. Our cup events, which are some of those combined MLP events, 1,500 points up for grabs, the winners and down, and then our slam, so it's our 2 Grand Slam events, which are up for 2,000 points. So
that's exciting.
So again, you know, that rewards the players who are travelling and the calibre of players at some of those events.
Yep.
And that's points right through Pro Masters, Pro Open as we're seeing here, and Juniors as well.
Nice shot. And yeah, it's fair to say this weekend we've had a great great turnout from our players that are not from the Southeast Queensland region. We've seen a bunch of WA representatives, a few internationals as well, which is really exciting. Nice
Yeah,
shot. George
absolutely,
Ball.
and it's great seeing some players, you know, flying over from Asia to compete here. Some from Northern Queensland, as you said, New Zealand, etc. And again, we said up for points. There's a bit of prize money this weekend.
Yep.
Playing for the 1,000 points to try and hit that #1 spot at the end of the year. Because for the pros, Dylan, $35,000 for the #1 player at the end of the year.
Ooh.
Plenty for position 2 to 5, but 35K for the #1 spot. So they are all trying to
Jeez.
get those points in the bag nice and early.
Oh, Nat roll, catching ball. And my goodness, what a Christmas present that would be. Nabbing 35K from playing pickleball. Not bad.
Dropped in mid-November after the very last event. Absolutely. And again, Masters too. There's prize money for our Masters top 5 players. Really, again, just trying to invest in that space, not just from an ecosystem and event space, but, you know, just starting to offer that prize money and professionalise that area as best we can. There we go. We see the free-flowing swing there, catching George Wall a little out of position.
These two are really starting to fire.
Yeah.
It's been a great passage of 5 minutes or so for Masand and Burr.
Second server.
Dink unsuccessful there, but they have another attempt.
492. Line up. Line 4-1.
Great shot there from Masand, punching it down the right.
Yeah, there's the benefit of the left-hander there. Can be able to
Yeah.
change that angle a little differently. Andy there really trying to go on his on his forehand. And too good on that occasion, Vish.
That's in again.
Back to back. All right. He's on a little hot streak here. And often you can see this in teams, Dylan, when they're literally backs to the wall, down, you know, 5 or 6 points. And just got to throw everything at it now. So you can see that fast and loose play.
That's exciting. This is good.
George Wall says, nope, I have none of that.
Yeah.
We want to
Put
get
that
this over
momentum
and done
away.
with. Yep.
492. Line up.
We've seen a couple of errors here on the side of Burr, however. Straight into the net. And we talked about the inconsistency of the
Line
wind.
4-1.
It's almost died. Tricky. Nice shot there from George Wall, captain of the Brisbane Breakers now, and Andy Dikosavljevic, the captain of the Northern Crocs. And I've got a funny story for you, Sanj, which I'll fill you in after this rally. Well left on ball, and that is secured. The medal has been taken from Wall and Dikosavljevic, and there's those points you mentioned from a bronze medal effort. Terrific effort from these two. For Burr and Masand, they will take the 4th place position. And a nice sunsetted day here. It looks a bit quirky on our screen, actually. I've just had a look at the pink in the background. But the sunset in Redcliffe it is actually really bright from the right side, so it's quite lovely. But that story I had for you, Sam. Then we have a bit of a quiet period. So we have in Redcliffe, she's the self-proclaimed #1 fan of the Northern Crocs. Beautiful player by the name of Stacey. And I said I'd introduce her to Andy, and Andy said, yes, please, I would love to meet this person. So I'll go and grab her at some point. And Andy taking a bronze. It's a pretty handy day at the office.
Yeah,
But,
it's always good when the fans can be so close to the athletes. And again, it's the beautiful part as an emerging professional sport that none of the players are too big for those moments at the moment. And I really hope that we can maintain that, for as long as possible. And we even did see that at the Australian Pickleball Open too, with the athletes from the US as well. So it's a great thing having our sport and having that connection. And that's the thing. You want to come down to the events, come down to Redcliffe here tomorrow. We'll have all of our gender doubles action all day from 8 o'clock in the morning through till 5 p.m. So feel free to come down, jump in the grandstand, meet some of the top players.
Yeah, and is that our broadcast done? Are we doing any more matches? We're all finished. Alrighty. So viewers at home, as Sanj just said, we will have the gender doubles events on tomorrow. Once again, you can catch that all on the PPA Australia YouTube channel. Please chuck a follow on all of their social media pages as well. Keep up to date with all things PPA, and as we mentioned, their website. If you want to check all the rankings and leaderboards from all the fun this weekend, pop on over to their website and have a sticky beak. But Dylan Kimlin and Sanj Carter, we're going to close down the broadcast for now. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we have our gender doubles events kicking off in the morning. Thank you, and have yourself a lovely evening.